Hi everyone, I'm Maggie Weldon from maggiescrochet.com, and I'm here to introduce you to two lovely projects using Premier's Home Raffia yarn. And this yarn is 100% cellulose rayon, and it's 123 ounces and 87 yards per ball. And it's a medium weight number 4 yarn, and the suggested hook is a size H or 8, and the knitting needles are US 9. And it's a hand wash dry flat yarn, and it comes in 7 beautiful colors. So the two projects that I'm going to show you, and I'll be taking you to a close-up to show you one or the other, so make sure that you watch either or video that we have, and the links to everything will be listed below. So the first one I want to talk about is the beach bag, which I absolutely love. It started at the bottom and then it's worked up the sides, and once you figure out the first row, then you just continue on, and then you make the handles, and then you make these roses separate and then applique them on. So the size of this is 14 inches by 17 inches, and it requires 5 balls of, it's called azurite, and then embers, 1 ball for the flowers, and kaleidoscope. So then the matching hat is also a simple project. It's called a sun hat, and it is 17 inches from the, the crown down, and then 22 inches across, and it's really very beautiful. And it's a nice combination, the two of them here. And this requires 5 balls of the Raffia yarn, which is the azurite yarn, and an F crochet hook. So you start from the top and work down, and it's pretty easy, I would say, skill to make. So look for both of these projects, and the links to everything are listed below. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel.
Hey everybody, it's Christina from maggiescrochet.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beach bag using the Raffia yarn from Premier Yarns. This is a really fun little pattern. It makes a cute bag. I love working with this yarn. Now for your main color of your bag, you will need 5 balls of the yarn and just 1 ball each of your accent colors for your flowers there. So let's see, you'll also need a size I9 hook, or the correct size to obtain the right gauge. With this being a beach bag, you can kind of fudge a little bit since it doesn't specifically have to fit any one. But a size I9 hook is what's recommended. That's what I'll be using today. All right, let's get started. To start this project, you'll chain 33. Now I'm doing a little mini version here today, so I've only got about half that. But you'll start with a chain of 33. And then single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So you'll skip this very first one, go into the second one, grab a loop, pull it through, yarn over, and pull that through the 2 loops on your hook. There's a single crochet. And then you're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch across until you reach the last one. So I'm going to single crochet in the next, well, for you it'll be in each of the next 30 chains. And then when I get to the end, I'll show you how to work the end and how to turn around and work in the opposite side of the starting chain. So when you reach the end of the row, you've only got 1 chain left. We're going to work 2 single crochets in that chain. And this is going to kind of help turn us around. So there's 1. And I'm going to be holding the end from my starting tail up against my work and work over it. You can certainly weave it in later if you prefer. Alright, so there's 2 single crochets there, and now you're going to work on the other side of the starting chain in each of the next 32 chain stitches. Like I said, mine's not as big, so mine won't be quite that. But if you look here, these are 2 unused loops of your starting chain. See, there's a single crochet, so that's where my next stitch is going to be. I'm just going to go right under those 2 and work a single crochet. And it kind of mirrors what you did on the first side. So there's 1, There's my next one. I'm going to go under these 2 loops and do a single crochet. And again, I'm holding this up against the work and working it in because I don't like weaving in later, but you can just leave that off to the side and worry about it once you get done. So again, there's my next stitch, there's the 2 loops, go right under there and work a single crochet. So you'll work this pretty much all the way down and join with a slip stitch to your first single crochet here, and you should have 64 single crochets when you're finished with this round 1. So I'm going to finish going across, then I'll come back and show you how to continue on to the next round. So once you reach the end of that round, you should have 64 single crochets, and at this point we're not going to join our rounds, we're going to keep working around in kind of a spiral. So to make sure I know where the end of my round is, I'm going to take the stitch marker and just slide it through the top of the last single crochet that I worked there. So I know that's the very end of round 1. For round 2, we're going to work 2 single crochets in the next single crochet. So the very first one we did. So we're going to increase here. And then 1 single crochet in each of the next 30. So that kind of takes us down the side, and you'll end up again here at the corner. And then you'll do some increasing. You'll increase 2 stitches in each of the ones here on the end, and then work 1 single crochet again down the side, and then increase right here in this very last stitch of round 1. So at the end of round 2, you should have 68 single crochets, and you'll continue in a very similar manner through round 7. This forms the base of your bag, and then round 8 starts the main part of your bag. So if you look here at my sample, you see down here at the bottom, this is rows 1 through 7, and then we start this pattern stitch in row 8. So I'm going to do this bottom part of the bag here. Like I said, it's just working straight along the sides, and you'll increase here on each end to kind of give your bag a little more shape there. And I will come back and show you round 7, because round 7 works in the back loops. So I'll come back and show you that before we move on to the pattern stitch. So at this point you'll have kind of an ovally shaped piece. This is the base of your bag. And when you're ready to start round 7, you'll see that it says to work in the back loops only. So when you look at a crochet stitch, you see here at the top there's this little loop, and it's got the front and the back loops. Now most of the time we work under both of these, so there's 2 loops there. For round 7, you're going to work only in the back loop, so just kind of go right down in the middle there, and that's where you'll work your single crochet. And round 7 is just 1 in each one around, no increasing here, just 1 in each stitch. So just go right down in the middle there, so that there's only the 1 loop instead of the 2 like normal, and just work a single crochet all the way around, no increases here. And you'll see it kind of leaves this little ridge. That's those front loops that you didn't work into. It's a nice little decorative detail there. So I'm going to finish this round, just 1 single crochet in the back loop of each stitch across. Then I'll come back and show you how to start the pattern for the main part of the bag. So here's my last stitch of round 7. And now we're going to start joining our rounds. We're going to stop working in a spiral, we're going to start joining our rounds. So I'm going to slip stitch this to that first single crochet of round 7, just like that. So see this nice little ridge? That's all those front loops we didn't work into. For round 8, chain 1. Now we're back to working in both loops again. In this very first stitch, you're going to work a single crochet, and in the next one you're going to work a double. So yarn over, insert into the stitch, grab a loop, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook at this point. Yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the other 2. And then you're going to keep alternating. So the next one is a single, and the one after that is going to be a double. And you'll just keep alternating this pattern all the way around. Oops. And when you reach the beginning of the round, you can join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet. Now rounds 9 through well, it doesn't give a specific ending round number. It's just kind of until it reaches the right size. Rounds 9 through the end, you're going to, I'm going to pretend that's the end of a round. You're going to do a single crochet on top of each double and a double crochet on top of each single. So there's a single right there. So I would do a double crochet right on top of that. And that gives you that kind of nice little weave pattern. So you'll just continue in that pattern until your bag reaches about the size you want it. Aiming for a pretty square bag, usually. But you know, if you want to make it a little taller, you certainly can, or a little shorter, you can certainly do that as well. But you'll just keep continuing in that single crochet on top of a double crochet and double crochet on top of a single crochet until you reach the size you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip this off because I want to show you how to make the handles, and I need the same color for that. So I can come back and finish that off later. Now for the handles, you want to leave a long tail, probably about 10 or 12 inches, because that's what we'll use to sew this handle to our bag. And then chain 2. And in the second chain from the hook, the one nearest the slip knot here, you'll work 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, leave that tail hanging there, 4, 5, and 6. Now pick up your stitch marker again, because again we're going to work in a spiral, so I'm going to mark my last stitch here and then move on to round 2. Round 2 is just 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So we had 6 here. At the end of round 2, we'll have 12. And then for round 3 through 48 is just single crochet in each stitch around. So basically, you're going to be making kind of a tube that's going to be your handle. So you want to make them each about, 48 rounds. They'll be about a foot long or so. And again, when you finish, you want to leave another long tail for sewing. So I'm going to work on this little bit, and I'm going to come back and show you how to make the cute little flower attachments. For the small flower, start with one of your contrasting colors and chain 4, like I've got here. Then we're going to join that to form a ring. So take your hook, go into that first chain stitch, grab a loop, pull it through, and pull that through the loop already on your hook, and that creates this little ring here. Round 1, you're going to chain 1 and then work 10 single crochets into this ring. So just go right down in the center there, grab a loop, pull it through, and single crochet. So you want a total of 10 of these. Once you've got all 10 single crochets, then you can just join, go right into that first single crochet and join with a slip stitch just like that. Round 2, you'll start by chaining 4. Skip the next single crochet and slip stitch in the following one. And it creates this little loop here. So you're going to repeat that around, so at the end of this row you'll have 5 of these little loops. So I'll do that real quick, come back and show you how to do round 3. This is the flower at the end of round 2. For round 3, going to chain 1 and then work a series of stitches into the middle of this loop. So I'm going to start with a single crochet. I'm just going to go right under that chain there. Don't try to work into the middle of it, just go right under it. I'm going to start with a single crochet. Then I'm going to do 4 double crochets. So yarn over, down under the loop, grab a loop, pull it through. 3 loops on my hook at this point. I'll pull through 2 and then through 2. So I want a total of 4 of those double crochets. There's 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll do 1 more single crochet. And then just repeat that around. So I'll go jump right into the next loop with a single crochet, and then do my 4 doubles, my single, etc., and I'll work that around. Now if you're making the small flower, that's the end, you can go ahead and finish off and weave in your ends. The large flower, the first 3 rounds are the same as the small flower, but it's got 2 additional rounds. So I'm going to finish this round and I'll come back and show you how to make the large flower. So again, if you just want the small flower, go ahead and finish it off here. But if you want the large flower, from here, you're going to fold down the next petal, chain, oh, there we go, chain 1. And then behind the petal, work a single crochet into the single crochet that we skipped here. So from the front, here in round 1, remember how we skipped some of those single crochets? We're going to work into that, but we're going to do it behind the petal. So just use your thumb, fold that forward, and single crochet. Then chain 5. Go to the next petal, fold that down, and single crochet in that skipped single crochet. So we're creating these little loops behind all the petals. And you'll just repeat this around. So chain 5, fold down the next petal, and single crochet. And you'll just do this all the way around. Now, all the flowers on the sample are the same colors for the front petals and kind of these outer petals. Could definitely be interesting to try doing rounds 4 and 5 out of a different color. Be a little more difficult, you'd have to switch your colors out, but it could have a really interesting look to it. So definitely your choice if you want to try experimenting with that. And then, let's see, then when you reach the first one here, you're just going to slip stitch on top of that single crochet. So from the front, it looks about the same. If you flip it over to the back, you've got 5 of these chain 5 loops. Then round 5, we're going to chain 1. And working into this loop, just like we did for these petals, working into this loop, you're going to do 2 single crochets, then 6 double crochets. Again, all in the same loop, just yarn over, go right under that chain, and work your double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then finish it off with 2 more single crochets, so we're symmetrical. And you'll just work that same stitch pattern in each loop. So going over to the next loop, single crochet, etc. So I'm still working on the front side, just folding these loops down in front. And then they'll kind of center like that and make the second layer of petals. So just complete that stitch pattern around and then join with a slip stitch to the beginning here. So that's all the pieces of the bag. Then you just have to assemble. So take your long ends from your handle. You'll need to make 2, of course, and sew them onto the top of your bags. Sew your flowers onto your bag, and then you're done. And you've got this great little beach bag. Guys, I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have any questions about it at all, you can certainly ask them down in the comments, and we'll do our best to help you out. And in the description, you'll find everything you need for this project. Thanks for watching.